Welcome back to kinser'skeep. Thank you so much for joining us as we explore the classic Manhattan.
There are so many stories about how the Manhattan came to be one of the world's most popular cocktails. So, you know what that means. Time for some history.
There's a popular story passed around that begins in 1874 when Dr. Ian Marshall created the Manhattan at a dinner party thrown by Lady Randolph Churchill. The drink was made in honor of presidential candidate Samuel J. Tilden and became an instant classic. But many say that this story is a myth since Lady Churchill was in England at the time, pregnant with Winston Churchill.
Then there's another origin story about a man named Black that used to frequent the Hoffman House back in New York City. But most people generally believe that the Manhattan was created as an homage to the Manhattan borough itself. I mean, there really are so many different variations of this cocktail, it does seem like the possibilities are endless. Now, the classic Manhattan is actually made with gum syrup, absinthe, as well as sweet vermouth and rye whiskey. But we're not gonna make it that way. I was taught the 2-1-2 method. So, if you don't remember how to make one, just remember 2-1-2. That's 2 dashes Angostura bitters, 1 ounce sweet vermouth, 2 ounces rye whiskey. And don't forget that cherry. So, what are we waiting for? Let's make one. Rye whiskey's what this drink is made of, add bitters and vermouth. Now you're in New York. This cocktail's classic, not brand new. Strain into a glass coupe. Let's cheers to New York, New York, New York. Every single time I sip a Manhattan, I'm instantly transported to New York City. I love building this cocktail and I love drinking this cocktail. I also like to build this cocktail in a mixing glass, strained into a glass coupe. But you can also build it in a rocks glass with a big rock. Also, don't forget that cherry. Whatever you'd like, but I must insist, on that classic coupe. So grab your mixing glass and let's start building. Now, we're gonna start with 2 dashes of Angostura bitters. Feel free to go heavier on the bitters if you'd like. Sometimes I go as heavy as 4 or 5, so do what you love. 2 right into the glass, because remember, 2-1-2. Perfect. Next, we're gonna visit our good friend, Carpano Antica. Let's add 1 ounce of that straight into the mixing glass. Our last ingredient happens to be Rittenhouse Rye Whiskey. A big time bar essential, home bar or otherwise. I love the taste of honey, licorice, and oak with this rye whiskey. It's also great for the price point. So we're gonna add 2 ounces. Glorious. Right about now. Yeah. The funk is so, brother. Can we stop? I don't know. So let's put our jigger off to the side and we're going to grab a moderate amount of ice this time. Perfect. So now we're gonna stir for 5 to 10 seconds, which is between 30 and 40 rotations. Now let's grab our coupe glass. And before I strain the cocktail into the glass, my kind of special way of making Manhattans is to add the garnish first. So let's grab a Luxardo maraschino cherry, a little bit of that syrup as well, and add that to the center bottom part of our coupe glass. So now when we pour our cocktail over the cherry, we get a little bit more of cherry flavor in every sip. Here I go. Beautiful. You can really see the cherry syrup start to swirl around. And that is the classic Manhattan.
Sour Collins, Ricky Fizz, Flip, Daisy Smash, Cobbler Fix, Julep, Custom Made, yeah, let's run it back.
And what a delicious New York invention.
Did you know that the remote control was also invented in New York?
Really? Wow.
Baby, you're a mystery. Do you wanna grab a drink with me? I'll even let you sit